Hello. Morgan is the hero of the month for September 2023. Morgan. Morgan is unable to accept her father's death. Morgan frantically searched for an opportunity to bring him back to life. The angels warned her the price would be extremely high, but she was willing to pay it. Now that Corvus has been resurrected by dark magic, nothing will ever drive this family apart ever again. So fights the middle lane. Her main role is support. She's a healer as an additional role. She also has a special tag of Undead. Her main stats and intelligence. Um, but yeah, so she is like the undead like healer character, support healer. Her ultimate is Army of Graven, which lets her summon 3 undead skeletons to her side. She can control up to 6 of them. She has bone armor, which increases the armor magic defense of herself, all undead allies, including herself. When she poses as a temporary boost. Like this is like a lot of these are self abilities, heals them as well. So this pretty much just ends up being said boosts her skeletons plus herself and either Corvus or Phobos if you have them. But a lot of times you'll just use her by herself. Moonlight, Morgan heals an undead ally if their health drops below 20%. Can be triggered once every 8 seconds for each ally. Again, it's another like healing ability. A lot of times she'll heal herself for one of her skeleton minions. The necromancy. This right here is one of the main reasons to use Morgan. So necromancy increases damage dealt by allied skeletons whenever an enemy dies. Morgan summons their skeleton even if they attempt to resurrect. So this ends up being a hard counter to Rufus. Like so when Rufus dies, normally you have to do the killing blow with physical damage. Where is Rufus? Right here. Right, so he can only be killed with physical damage. So the last attack was magic or pure. He revives, but Morgan's necromancy hard counters that, shuts it down completely, so he can't revive. This makes Morgan like worth developing, just because Rufus could be tricky to deal with for some teams, and having Morgan as a hard counter to Rufus is definitely recommended. Also makes adventures with Rufus when Rufus appears a lot easier to deal with. And a lot of times you could get by with like minimal investment Morgan, like you just need her like Violet Sunset rank and max necromancy. A lot of times that's enough to stop that. So she only has 4 skins. So she has magic attack, which is probably her best one, followed by intelligence. She also has health and armor. I didn't even unlock the health on her. Didn't see the points. It's like, I mean, I guess it just really depends. Like if you want her to survive more, to use her ult more. Like her ult, she buffs armor pen. So she's one of the few armor pen buffers in the game. Like that's so you might want her to ult more often, so she can keep armor pen on her skeleton minions or other allies you might be using her with. She has magic attack book and her intelligence ring. It just really depends on what you need. If you don't really need the armor pen buff, then you might want to start with the ring or something. Glyphs. So magic attack, intelligence are probably the most important. Then you'd probably do armor, magic defense, probably health last, or you might skip it entirely. Ascension. So she's on the support role branch, which means if you are working on this, a lot of people focus on this one because of the Isaac, Nebula, Sebastian. So this is usually the most important branch, especially for raids. So she'll benefit from this just by virtue of being a support hero. So this is pretty good. And then you have the Ascension though, so she's also a support hero. So it's hard to get her to high Ascension rank just because she'll want those kindness insignias. So it's kind of a double edge there. But she gets lots of magic attack glyphs and stuff. Pretty much your standard like magic user type of stuff. Nothing too special or necessarily necessary, but does boost her magic attack, which can boost her damage and stuff with her minions. Because all of her skills are magic based. So that's magic attack, but it's only like a 20% modifier. But this is a 95% modifier, so this could help her healing quite a bit if you max her out. This gives her minions more health and more physical attacks. So magic attack's really good. So getting her Ascension up can definitely help improve her effectiveness if you're trying to further damage with the things, especially if you want to pair with Corvus, right? And that's kind of like the other thing you might do is pair her with Corvus. Corvus, he also has a couple of skills that boost it. Unity of Undead. Corvus increases undead allies' physical magic attack for 10 seconds. So you'd increase all of his allies' attack by 25% of his physical attack plus 1950 with this ability. I think that's the only one that really boosts his thing here. Oh wait, no, this one decreases. Oh, this also boosts undead allies, but it's a status effect, it looks like. Yeah, so this is the main reason, like a boost to their physical attack. So gives them a bit of an attack boost if you pair her with Corvus. But a lot of times you use them separately. They generally have pretty different roles. There's a little bit of synergy there, but Morrigan can heal Corvus, and that's pretty much the main reason you use them together. His boosts, his physical attack boosts and stuff to her minions, they're okay, but they're not like game changing. But usually though, a lot of times though, main reason I use Morrigan though is just to kind of shut down Rufus. Like if you have a Rufus team of any sort, you can always use like Morrigan to try to shut it down. Let's see. Yeah, it just really depends on the team. But you can use like just about anything. It doesn't really matter. Like if they have Rufus, you can use Morrigan to hard counter. Let's see. This is pretty common. Maybe something like this. You might see something like this, maybe. Right, and if there's no status effects, you can probably just run. Like I said, you could probably run without Sebastian. Just use Morrigan in place of where you would have Sebastian. And like I said, if we ran like a twins team or something, it might look like this. And we'd use this to try to hard counter Rufus. Okay, Lars about to ult. Have Ode to Serenity on, which is gonna protect them from Lars stuns for a second here. At least till they shred it off. Okay, there you go. Boom. See, you tried to res, but it just shut it down, and that's the power of Morrigan's necromancy. It just shuts down the reses. She didn't do a whole lot of healing because she's pretty much just healing herself. Yeah, like I said, that's what you would use her for, is pretty much to counter Rufus. One of her best attributes there. But yeah, not too much more to say on it though. Morrigan's a good hero who's worth having just for ability to counter Rufus. Recommend her. You don't necessarily have to like max her out or anything. You know, a lot of times just having a Violet plus X Morrigan with max necromancy can sometimes be enough. You can just put Axel Patron on her to keep her alive and to counter Rufus. Anyway, if you want to know more about countering Rufus, though, I've done videos on that in the past, which you can find below. And as always, thank you for watching.